and this is my dad, and today I'll be interviewing him about our family history. So the first question is, where did our family come from?
The family come from the China,
Our family
and
comes from.
the year is 1900,
Mm.
and Chinese men and they go do some business and on the different the country around the close to the China,
Mhm.
and the one day happen and look like the hurricane, and they have the his boat and have the stop by in the Vietnam, the one island, the
Wow.
name that Hoi An, the
Hoi An,
Vietnam,
yeah.
and they living there a couple of days until the hurricane to go away. When they over there, they do some business. They sell the rice or some food, and say, okay, that's good place, and they living, and that's why they over there. This couple day, couple week, couple year, they do some business. They go back and forth. The China and Vietnam,
From China to Vietnam.
China and Vietnam,
Mhm.
and after that, and the Chinese man, and they get married with a Vietnamese woman,
Mhm.
and after that, and they have the son,
Like children.
daughter, the children,
Mm.
and day by day, year by year, and
So like the generations kind of carried on.
they carry on until now.
Until now. So he
Yeah.
was a traveling Chinese man who went over to Vietnam, and then he started his family from there.
Yes. Yeah.
And how do we know about this? How did we know about this history?
The history, I have the 7 generation.
You're the seventh
The seven,
generation.
yeah, and you the 8 now, and the long time ago we just trade back and look like the first oldest man, and they just have the journal. They write the name and the same last name who they in the family, and the day by day, year by year, and he just write it down. They pass the people.
Past. So the oldest child from the 1900s, they
Yeah.
have like a journal,
Yeah.
and they start writing
Yeah,
about
writing.
like our family history.
They
and
just ask the people in there every year,
yeah.
and they pass out in the junior. After that,
Okay.
and when he pass away, the people net. Yeah.
And they can add anything they want in it, right?
Oh yes, they add in the one, but the main thing is the whole with the same look at the last name.
Last name, like the
the same.
oldest child in the child family at that generation,
Yeah.
they can add whatever they want into the book.
Oh yeah, into the book. Yeah.
Okay, and this
Then-
is the
yeah,
book, right?
this is the book.
Mhm.
Yeah, the book is everything in there.
And why is it typed and not like handwritten? Like it was from the early 1900s.
The original they have the handwriting.
Mhm.
Yeah, the after handwriting, and after year they add to some more people, and they look like the old book, and they have some new idea, and they print a book. They print a book.
So like, was the written messages like lost, or were they old, and so they had to rewrite it in
they
typed form
rewrite
and
and
stuff?
they reprint the book again.
Okay. Alright. And I guess you answered how many generations you can trace back from your parents, which was, you said that you were the 7th generation.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm the 8th generation. So do you remember like the traveling Chinese businessman's name?
The name, his name, and the Chow Phi Ko.
Chow Phi Ko.
Yeah, Chow Phi Ko. Yeah, this is the first name
The
of
first.
the child.
And was
the
there
great
And was there any other important names that you remember besides him?
No, not every family, but the main thing, the same last name, they keep the last name
And
Chow.
keep the last name.
They're not important thing. They just last name. But some people with different the first name, middle name, but the same last name. Yeah.
was still kept.
Mhm.
Okay. And did the family continue to live in Hoi An, or did most of the family continue to live in Hoi An and?
after the 1900, then the Chinese men get married woman, Vietnamese woman, and they everybody after that everybody was in Vietnam, in Hoi An, Vietnam, and after that that's depend on the people they grow up, they have some different kind of business, and they move around.
Move
They're
around
still in the Vietnam,
Vietnam.
but they move around different cities.
to different cities.
Yes.
And then next is, do we have any veterans in our family? So people who worked in the military.
Oh, this my father.
Yeah.
There's a
Oh,
job the
my
father within the military. You know, between this 1954, 1975, and the Vietnam country, and they divide by two. Look
So
at
it's the Vietnam War, right?
Yeah, Vietnam War. Then the South Vietnam and North Vietnam.
Yeah.
And this South Vietnam, this the under control. They follow the U.S.
Yes.
military. The under control the U.S. military. And North Vietnam, that's the communist.
Communist
Yeah,
country.
and
Or
after
communist idea.
the after the they have the between under the war the Vietnam War, and my your parent and your
My grandfather.
of the military, he worked in the training camp, and training camp the after that's the 1975. No, when before 1975, that's the parents my family work okay. Just my father work in the
Military
training
service.
camp, and they come home the weekend
Weekend.
for the visit. They say everything fine. But after 1975 and US, they don't want to
Help,
the
right?
have they don't want to Vietnam War anymore, and they stop support to the South Vietnam.
So,
And they just return to the US, and the North Vietnam, that's the communist, and
Communist,
they
they
take
took over the entire country.
over the whole the country.
Yeah.
And my father, after that, and who worked with the U.S. military, looked at the high level, and who worked in the U.S. military, the high level.
So he was
and
like a training officer.
Yeah,
He had like
officer,
high
yeah,
level in the
yeah,
military.
And government communist South Vietnam, and they sent everybody in the jail after 1975 who
So-
worked with the U.S. military. And my father, they go in there too.
So
Around the 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
how did because Vietnam was now all communist?
Yeah, Vietnam.
How did your life change? Like, was it any different from before?
Oh yeah, they have the big difference before the after to my father go to the jail in there, and the family is still living, but sometimes they give the hard time for the people, the South Vietnamese people who worked at the U.S. and America before. For example, they don't want, or they give the hard time they will go to the university. Yeah.
So there's like a bit of like discrimination.
And
between-
discrimination, the people from the south and the people
People
from
from,
the
like, the
north, and until this until 1981, and my father just get home, and after that, then the U.S. woman, they have the service, and they will sponsor for everybody who worked with them before, and go to the USA.
So the U.S. government kind of sponsored a
Yes.
free ride for
Yeah, free
those
fry,
who
free fry.
used to work for them during the Vietnam War to immigrate to the U.S.
Yeah, the USA, and came here in 1992.
So how did your family reacted because of the war? Since Grandpa was in jail, was it more harder on Grandma and your family?
Yeah, they give the hard time to them, right? They give the hard time, and we did choose something, and they just pay attention. Who
They
you
gave like
talk.
more attention
Yeah,
to
like
you.
pay attention who you talk with, who you visit with, who, and the people look at the people. There's after the 75 that they don't want to the communist the Vietnamese communist people,
Mhm.
and they escaped Vietnam.
They
And
escaped.
they just escape by boat and go to USA or different country.
So those who didn't want to go to jail, they escaped Vietnam.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
after, over time, they didn't like the communist.
The communist and
system,
they
so they
escaped. Yeah.
escaped. So why did Grandpa decide to go to the military in the first place?
The first way to that he have to because he was 19 years old and everybody.
So he was recruited based on like the time.
That time.
Okay. Can you tell me any stories about our family? Like anything interesting since then? Like when you immigrated to the United
They went
States?
to the United States.
Mhm.
Oh, this when we came here. That when we
Yeah,
came here,
came here.
yes, we have the assigned to
Your
this
assigned.
this everything that changed. But
Everything
we
changed.
had the first thing we have the and not a hard time. We have the worry about the English. We just
Very
study
good
English
yeah.
and the main thing that's a freedom. Yeah.
Freedom. So.
Yeah.
So did our family didn't like the communist system back in Vietnam during the time, or was it just not comfortable for them?
But the Vietnamese people, we love the country, we love
Yeah.
the people,
Mhm.
we love in there. But there's some kind, but the woman,
It was just not right.
this
for
not
our family.
right. Yeah.
And so when you moved to the United States, how did you adapt to the environment? Like it was all new to you. And
Yeah,
everything.
we get the hard time to adapt the first month, first year,
Mhm.
and we have my uncle, my mom uncle.
Mhm.
They live over here for a long time. That's why they just saw us step by step,
Mhm.
and after the couple year, and we okay, everything okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So like during the time, you would say that you enjoyed
Yeah, enjoy
immigrating
time on it.
to
Yeah.
the United
Yeah.
States. And so, the last question is, do we have any genealogical records? If so, where are they? So like, proof of like different offsprings or descents, or where we come from. Is it just all in this book?
These are on the book. The after the year by year, day by day, or the yeah, and they just write out in the book. Yeah, the some couple year they just print again. They add some people in there, and then they print again. The after year and they print again. They for the more people. Yeah, until now.
From what I think, Grandma told me that Grandpa did not add into this book more. Why didn't he continue to add more into this book or this journal?
Because there's a banana and everybody live in the different place, different country, and
Like different states.
the
all
different
around.
state and look like U.S. and Canada, Australia and Vietnam, everywhere. Just a hard time to find out that's the name and the ad in there.
Okay, so he just didn't. He decided not to add on to it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, look like we know that's the people in the Vietnam same last name, but we know this in that there, but we cannot. It's hard to.
It's kind of lost connection with
Yeah, the
everyone
connection.
else. So,
Yeah.
yeah, and since Grandpa was the oldest child in his generation, he kept it, but he couldn't
Yeah.
like get information from everyone else because everyone is like spread out. And
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Okay, and that were all the questions.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Dad.
Thank you. You're welcome, daughter.
Okay, that was our family history. Thank you for watching.